Welcome back again, guys. Welcome to session 4 for Power Automate uh, course. So, in this session, we'll learn about data tables. But before we do that, this is session 4. If you haven't watched session 1, 2, 3, please go back and I would highly recommend watching the session 1, 2, 3 because this is a continuation for those sessions. So in this session, we're going to learn about data tables, as I mentioned. Before we do that, if you guys are looking for any implementation of any projects, even if you're a business or if you're learning, please let me know. I will leave my contact for LinkedIn in the description below, as always. So please contact me for business or learning. So in this session, we'll learn about data tables, how to create data tables, insert data tables, insert a new row, modify data table, find and replace functions. So let's go into how to create data tables. So to create data table, you need to expand variables and a section inside variables called data table. So to create a data table, you need to drag, create new data table onto development area. So you need to specify how many rows and columns you need. And this one is the variable, the data table name will be displayed here. So I will create a data table for students and their marks. So I'm going to create DT, this is a prefix for data table. This is standard across any language. So DT students. And to insert any data into data table, you need to click on edit. You will get a column row format. So I'm going to edit this as roll number and this one as name, but you don't have any more columns to add. So to add a new column, you need to click on this plus sign here. If you click there, it's going to add a new column. The new column, this one's going to be age, and I will add another one for marks. So we added columns, and then we're gonna insert data into rows. So roll number is going to be 001. Name is Rahim. Age is going to be 10. And marks going to be 400. Now, if you want to add a new row, you need to click on this plus button. So to add a column, you need to click on this. To add a row, you need to click. And here, I will add another record, 002. This is going to be Ramu and age 9. Marks going to be 450. I will add two more rows, 003 and 004. Justin, $60. Going to be okay. So save it. Now, if you see here, we added 4 rows and 4 columns, and save it. So now I want to display the data within this data table, DT students. So to do display, again, we'll take a message box. So display message, and message is going to be student details. And the display message, either I can display one at a time or I can display the complete row at a time. So to do that, what we're going to do is, so what I did here is I added student details and display student. So this is going to display all the table with comma separated. So if you run this, here 001 Rahim 10 400. So this is how it's going to display if you don't specify how to display. Now I'm going to ask to display only one row. So either I can say index 1 with student. So if I say index 1, which is, I'm going to show you the data table one more time. So this is index 0, this is index 1, 2, 3. So if I say index 1, it's going to display Ramu's details, right? So now if you run this again, it's going to display Ramu's details. So now I want to display only, let's say, of index 2. So what I'm going to do is index 2 and marks going to be, I think it's 3. Yeah, I guess so. Let's see. So run. Yeah. So 460. So now we have seen how we display the complete table, one row or one cell. Now we're gonna see how to add a new row to already existing table. So to add row, we're gonna take insert row into data table and display here. And data table which we're gonna add it to is data students. Location, I will show you first end of the table. There are two options, before row index or end of the table. So the value is going to be, let's say this is going to be in an index format, else it's not going to be inserted into, or sorry, a list format, else it's not going to be inserted into. So I'm going to insert 005 and strings has to be single, between single quote, and the name's going to be and then it's going to be 10 or 11, and then mark's going to be 550. So let's save this, and I'm going to display the whole table to show you how to display, if it's added or not, the row for Fariba. So when you run it, the amount of values provided to be added doesn't match the column table. Okay, let's see. I think we added it right. Okay, so what happened is we haven't added percentile before or after the values, so we have to add percentile. That's why it didn't take it, throw out that error. So once we save it and run it again, it's gonna add row again. So here. Okay, so it didn't take as 005. That's because it's in number format. If we put a string format, it's going to take it as a 005. All right. So now we have created a table, inserted a row, displayed it. Now we're gonna find or replace in data table. Sorry, before we go there. So we added to the end of the table, but we haven't seen before index. So I'm gonna say added before two. So before what we did is we added to the end of the table. Now we're gonna add it before index two. So once we change that, one here. So 0, 1 before 2. Now Fariba's row became as index 2. So now we're going to look into find or replace data table. The data table which we're going to look into is again DT student search. We're going to find text to find. We're going to look for Rahim. Search everywhere. So this is regular expression. This is a bit more complicated and match case and match entire cells. But for now, we'll see a straightforward find and then save. So variable. So it's gonna be either true or false. So it's matched or not. So since this is going to be Boolean, I will say is matched. And then here to display, I'm gonna use is matched. Okay. So when you run it, what it's going to do is it's going to display the index and how many times that record has been found. So it's found at index 0, and it has only once occurred in DT students. To see the replace function, so find and replace, we need to find Rahim and then replace it with Hammer. So when you save it and run it, it's gonna replace that one part. But now instead of checking if it's matched or not, I'm gonna display the entire index 0. So again, how to do that? Go back to display, change this to student, and then we're gonna display index 0, and then save and run. So now, if you see here, now it's 001. Instead of Rahim, it's Muhammad. So now we have seen find and replace. Now we will see update data table item. We're gonna replace just an item. So what's the difference between find and replace and update data table item? Is find and replace gonna find first. If it's there, it's gonna replace it. Here, update data table, it's not going to find, it's going to blindly look into that data table item, and then it's going to replace it, irrespective of if it's matched or not. So I'm going to say column 1 and row 2. Okay, let's see first what's the table we're going to do that. So I'm going to column 1 is name. Already did find and replace for this ones. So we're gonna do replace in 0. What we're gonna do is column 0, row 2. We're gonna replace this as roll number 10. So to do that, Find and replace. I don't know why it wasn't there. Oh, I did cancel. Never mind. Okay, so 0, row 2, the new value is going to be 0, 1, 0, save, and then display row 2. Save, run. Now, row 2 is going to be, so we haven't deleted this. So since Fariba is inserted at row 2, instead of changing the original row to it, change whatever the inserted row is, and then replace the roll number of 005 to 010. So now we have seen update data table item. Now we're going to delete a row data table item. So this is simple, straightforward. So select a data table, delete the index. So we're going to delete again row 3, save, and we're going to display the entire table. See if it's displayed, if it's deleted, and then save, run. So now, if you see here, deleted index 3. So here we had 4 rows, and we added a 5th one, and we deleted one. So it have to be 4 rows, right? Okay, save it. All right, so this is the end of the session. All right, this is the end of the session, guys. So if you like this video and if you want me to have more sessions going forward, please do like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below, or please contact me on LinkedIn. I will leave the description below again. Thanks, guys. Happy learning. Bye.